Hey people, welcome back to Peniros, man. I thought I'd do a little different today. You know, I had so much plans this year for the channel to branch out in different ways. I had certain things lined up with some of the homies, and I was gonna start taking it out there. But you know, I don't want you guys to think that I'm like a caveman type. And most of my videos are done indoors after hours, after I've done what I've done. You know what I mean? After I've done what I've had to do. And yeah, so that's why it might look like that, you know. But let's go. Show you a little something different. So now, like lately, I've been talking about my theory. It's kind of chilly, you know. You know what? It's kind of chilly, you know. So the hat's gonna have to go on there. Yeah, don't always think that just because I got a hat on it means I haven't got a trim, yeah. It's cozy. But yeah, so my theory. So coronavirus, a lot of people think it's really like this crazy flu bug that's gonna wipe out, but I personally think that it's from the dust in the air, the dust pneumonia. Yeah, that's what I personally think it is, you know. And I have not shown enough evidence of this, so I told myself that if I'm going to be talking about this dust pneumonia, it's about time I start showing you some evidence why I think it's dust pneumonia. You understand what I'm saying? And the reasons and how deadly the dust pneumonia is. Now, the statistics of coronavirus are looking very strange right now. Very strange, you know. Big respects to all those who have supposedly died and the families, but the statistics are very strange as well. And I haven't yet to see, I don't know about you guys, but I have not yet heard about a black person dying from coronavirus at this moment in time. I haven't heard that. So, what we're saying now, we're saying that the shops are crazy. That it's peak out there right now, you know. I just hope that a lot of people are taking a lot of stuff. Now, I feel that's very selfish. And there's no reason to be taking everything, you know. And we've got certain shops out there right now as well that are basically trying to charge extra money for certain goods, which is definitely not a good idea, because when the man switch on you, word to all shopkeepers, yeah, that's not a good idea for your shop. If you want to like continue to have a business in London, go on. If you're gonna go. If you're going to continue to have a decent business in London, a respectful business, I don't think that's a good idea for you, because there's only a certain amount of time that they're going to be taking that. They're going to be having that before they jump over your counter. Just keeping that 1,000. So that's not a good idea. Any shopkeepers that are doing that is definitely not a good idea for you. I would not advise it. Right. So back to the dust theory. Well, you saw me put out my other video about the dust pneumonia and the evidence related to that, you know. But now I've got some different evidence for you to check out, and we have a better understanding. Right now I've got to go and get some money out. Listen, let me tell you something now. You guys, man, make sure you fill up your tank with some petrol, yeah, because at this rate, from what I'm seeing, yeah, from this rate of what I'm seeing, the stock markets and everything as well, the petrol's, it's going to get to a point of where people are going to want to fill up all their tanks, right? So if everyone fills up their tanks in one day, what do you think is going to happen? There's going to be no petrol for the evening, maybe, to start off with. You know, there's going to be a lack of petrol. Hey, that was crazy. Why did you just do that? people get a bit erratic as well in these situations, you know. And people start acting a bit different. You know what I mean? Even your friends are gonna start talking a bit different and acting a bit different in these situations. And this is when you're gonna find out who's who. You know what I mean? So be prepared for that also. But I've got lots of things to show you today. But you know the mad thing about this dust situation that I'm talking about when I talk about the dust pneumonia? I'm not the only person that knows about this dust pneumonia. You know what I mean? The government's known about the dust pneumonia for time. They just haven't told you about it. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, sorry about that. Sorry about that. Yeah, what was I saying now? You know, like I was saying to you, this guy's gonna get hit by a car. Damn, man. Yeah, so basically, like I was saying to you, that the government's known about this dust pneumonia that I'm talking about. So if you're not thinking I'm crazy, like look for example, China, yeah? We all know that there was at one point in time, China was always walking around in masks before this coronavirus came around, right? They've been walking around with masks for years. You've seen the footage, even some of the footage that you're seeing now is actually, these people, man, like some of these videos of masks and things of that nature that you're seeing now, yeah, that's old footage, you know, very old footage. Like you can even tell by the camera quality, you know what I mean? So you have to know that, you have to be able to know. We're not always gonna know. We're not always gonna know exactly what's real and what's fake, because it's so good right now. Like the graphics that they've got right now and the CGI with all that graphical stuff that they use in films and whatnot, it's crazy, man. Different level stuff, you know what I mean? Different level stuff. Different level of graphics right now, man. People sit there and play computer games all day. You give them that type of stuff every day, they won't even know what's real and what's fake. And I come down there the other day, I couldn't get no money out. Sorry, brother, but you're walking with your eyes closed. You see, people stop walking around staring at your phones. You know, that's how you're gonna miss the event in the sky, man. That's how you're gonna miss the event in the sky if you keep walking around looking at your phones all day, man. That's not a good look for you. You might have to look down as well. Oh, God, there's nowhere to park. Yes, there is. Oh, yes, there is. Yeah, so basically, there's loads of parking space over here. So basically, there's loads of evidence of the dust have an effect on people. Because like I said, in China, when they was walking around with a mask on, what do you think that was for? The coronavirus wasn't around them, yeah? So that was obviously for the dust situation that they had going on. They had a dust situation going on. Broadcasting and everything, you know what I mean? And that's what it was. It was dust pneumonia, and it was killing people, you know. And it's very fine dust at that, very, very fine dust. You know, it's dust that we can't see, you know. And I'm looking over at the cash point right now, and it looks very empty, which is not a good sign. Yeah, but let me just go and get this money out, and I'll get back to you. Like I was saying, man, you gotta understand that these people know about these dust particles and this dust pneumonia thing. It ain't like I'm just making it up, like I'm just trying to get views. You know what I mean? And if you wanna know why I didn't post any videos for a while, for like a week, I think I didn't post anything. I want you lot to breathe, you know? You gotta understand, I love putting content on my channel. Don't get it confused. I love putting content on my channel, but my channel is not. It's not for money. You know what I mean? So, if like I always tell you, if the money comes, it comes. But it's not about money. So, sorry, man, it's a bit manic out here. It's not for money at all, so I don't gonna put 100 videos out. But why is there a bird crossing the zebra crossing? Like seriously, like, did that really just happen? Man, I saw there's a crow crossing the zebra crossing. Like, come on, man, this world is nuts. This world is nuts. If you ever see this car park right now, you people, man, you gotta be careful out here, man. Like, you gotta know what you're doing as well. You're not just letting these people just ride over you. You gotta trust your government so much, innit? It's crazy, man. It's crazy. Trust your government so much. So like I was saying, like, let's just get to this footage, you know what I mean, and show you that this dust pneumonia thing is not a thing I just made up just because this is a real thing. They've known about it for a long time.
The Lord will plague you with diseases until he has destroyed you from the land you are entering to possess. The Lord will strike you with wasting disease, with fever and inflammation, with scorching heat and drought, with blight and mildew, which will plague you until you perish. The Lord will turn the rain of your country into dust and powder. It will come down from the skies until you are destroyed. Dust and powder, dust and powder, dust and powder. It will come down from the skies until you are destroyed.
Every day, dust from our solar system, our Milky Way galaxy, and comets falls onto Earth. These dust particles are similar in their quantity to that of smoke, but are quite a bit smaller.
In a remarkable discovery, scientists have come across some dust particles that are believed to have originated outside our solar system. The report was recently published in the Science Journal.
There's so much cosmic dust swirling around that nearly 60 tons of the stuff fall on Earth every single day. We can find bits of cosmic dust everywhere. On city rooftops, in Antarctica, and on the cliffs of Dover.
The area between Sun and Earth is going to become a little bit more populated. It's going to be a little bit more dusty. Now, we actually get quite a lot of dust on Earth to begin with. As a matter of fact, something like 40,000 tons of material on Earth every year comes from passing through various dust clouds and various dust particles. Not just from asteroids, but just actual dust, tiny particles of dust that are essentially everywhere in space, because, you know, space is not actually that empty after all. But in a few millennia, or actually anywhere between next 20 to 50,000 years, we might actually pass through something a little bit more dense than that. As a matter of fact, it might be so dense that, or several thousand times denser than what we currently have, that it might completely blot out the sun, or make the sun a lot more dim in the sky. We might not be able to see it that well anymore.
The sun shall be turned into darkness and the moon into blood before the great and the terrible day of the Lord come. And it shall come to pass that whosoever shall call on the name of the Lord shall be delivered. For in Mount Zion and in Jerusalem shall be deliverance, dust and powder. It will come down from the skies until you are destroyed.
Dr. Christopher Carlston, Head of Respiratory Medicine at the University of British Columbia and Director of the Air Pollution Lab, who's joining us on Skype. Firstly, can you tell us what fine dust does to the human body and why it's considered so harmful?
Right. Thanks, Mark. I feel for your viewers. I was watching and I really see the problem very graphically. The fine particles are those that are less than 2.5 micron. So they're not visible, each particle, to the naked eye, but of course you can see on your screens when the particles are all together in a large air mass, you can see the group together. But because they're so small, they get deep into the lung and they can even get into the bloodstream and cause inflammation. That's why these particles are dangerous not only for the lungs, but also for the bloodstream and even the heart. So heart and lung disease, as well as other disease, have all been associated with these particles. The key thing is that most of the effects, thankfully, are long-term. And so while I know your viewers have been suffering for days now, we can hope that it will pass, and I'm sure it will pass, and we can get through this episode.
Okay, and yes, most of us would be But like you say, during periods like this, is that your advice then? We should stay inside whenever possible, keep the windows shut, have an air purifier going, and if we do go outside for prolonged periods, aside from wearing a face mask, something that's enough to protect you from the finest particles, what are the other best ways to protect yourself?
The other thing when you're outdoors, if you really need to be there, and I understand we do need to be outside for practical purposes, is to minimize the intensity of activity. So the respiratory rate, which is related to how fast you breathe and how deeply you breathe, is a huge factor in terms of how much air pollution gets deep into the lungs. So exercising in these conditions is really not advised.
The Chinese officials said reducing fine dust requires a long-term effort. Both sides agreed to host sessions with fine dust experts in the future meetings, share air quality forecast technology, and do joint research and environmental measures.
South Korea's Environment Ministry has released a guideline informing the public of 7 protective measures against fine dust.
Now, people, check this out, yeah? This is an example of things that you would have to do to prevent the dust pneumonia from getting to you in a serious way, right? Now, let's compare this to the coronavirus, right? So 1, avoid outdoor activities when possible. You know, we've been told a lot to stay in the house, right? 2, wear a mask when heading outdoors. Obviously, you see a lot of people wearing masks. It's really, a lot of people are more wearing masks now though, like, a few days ago, they weren't really doing it as much. 3, avoid heavily polluted areas when outdoors. 4, wash thoroughly when returning from outdoors. 5, drink water and eat lots of vegetables, fruits, and high vitamin C. 6, manage indoor air quality through cleaning and ventilations. I've actually got a plug-in air cleaner, but I've got 3 others that you can't plug in, but you can just put them in the yard. And it helps. You know, a lot of people right now have been getting a lot of moss in their house, a lot of mold and moss in their house lately. Why do you think that is? Right? Why do you think that is? Yeah? Only now, within the last couple of years, people are getting all this mold in their house. And then you're seeing adverts talking about if you got mold in your house, right? Yeah? 7, avoid activities that can create more air pollution, obviously. So these are the things, these are 7 things that they want you to do to prevent the dust pollution from hurting you. And this is something that was put out a while ago, right? So they've known about this, right? So obviously we compare these together, very similar, right? Very similar, okay.
Studies show that a large amount of air pollution and yellow dust do indeed flow in from China. In your view, how much of South Korea's fine dust originates from China?
So, I mean, to be honest, we don't know for sure, but there's been a number of investigations and some research is done, and I think they all center around between 34 and 50% of the fine dust pollution comes from China. So I think it would be safe to say that almost half of the pollution is due to China.
So what you're gonna tell me now, that it's just a coincidence that the coronavirus started in China? You know, the alleged bat soup and all that. So it's just a coincidence, okay? People stay focused, yeah? Stay focused. I enjoyed it today. You know, it's and try and keep a smile on your face. Like, I know this is some crazy business going on. A lot of people are worried. I can see it in your eyes. You know, I can see it in your eyes that a lot of you are worried. I can see it. And the only thing I can really say is just like, keep your prayers up, man. I'm not hearing nobody talk about God. Like, I don't understand. Like, when he's not gonna smell the coffee, like, you know what I mean? Like, without God, yeah, no one ain't getting through it. No one ain't getting through it. You know? And thanks for being patient with me today, because this is kind of new for me, like driving around making videos. You know, like I said, I had some plans where we're gonna be going around like, you know, some museums and you know, some Asian artifacts. You know what I mean? Go on some holidays. This is crazy, man. Everything just went pear-shaped, guys. You know what I mean? I was actually gonna go to Egypt and yeah, I got some big plans for the channel. Like not even just Egypt, like it's all over the place. Where there's mad Asian artifacts and things that we talk about, things that we can see. You know what I mean? Things that we can see with our own eyes. And me there, you know what I mean? Filming it instead of like we're seeing someone else's footage and stuff like that. I don't think I'm gonna go to the Vatican. No, I'll probably stay away from that one. Stay away from that one, trust me. But yeah, man, we'll do some more videos out our door, you know what I mean? See where we can take it, you know what I mean? And have some fun with it. Another thing as well, my roof comes off by the way too. My roof comes off, you know, so no time for vanity right now. No time for vanity, man. You know what I mean? Enjoy it, don't show it off. Enjoy it. Had to show you. I'm gonna show you some more videos with the proof. I'm gonna get to more videos with the proof of why I still feel it's dust pneumonia. I'll leak it all out for you guys in due time. And you can get a total understanding of where I'm coming from, you know what I mean? But as for now, I'm trying to pop another video out later on, people. And yeah, so bless, share, subscribe. Peace.